Pawpaw, Sammy, and alley bug here. Today, I'm going to show you the difference between a figs that's been properly maintained, pruned, and the figs that has not been maintained. Loaded with fruit, you can't even find a bud here. But it's not a waste, because you can sure transplant them and they'll grow pretty fast. If you'll notice this bush, it's got 3 main leaves, or 2 actually, this one and this one. It's got fruit on it already. It's beautiful. Now, this is what happens when you keep them pruned and take care of them. Now I want you to look over here. What happens when you don't prune them back and get to a main trunk. Look, there's no fruit, there's none starting to come out. All you're doing is growing suckers.
Right.
This is the bush we're going to get back in production shape. All right, so we're going to start by picking out 1 or 2 main runners and going down in there and taking them off. And since that's not a fig, anyway, so you kind of go in here and pick out the ones you want to save. And it's going to be big ones. So you get down here on the bottom and take out. And you take out all these small ones. You don't need those. That's just sucking the tree down. It's kind of hard. Sometimes you cut the ones you don't want to cut. That's there.
So what is our main goal with what we're doing right now?
This right here, by doing this, you'll wind up with 1 or 2 main roots, like this big one here, these 2.
All right, so we want 1 or 2 main
Yeah,
stems.
maybe 3 if you can find the big. That's the 2 best right there.
These 2?
Yeah, and then when you get all this suckers off your root system, then this is going to just bullet straight up. Because all this juice here is going there.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So the way my fig tree is set up right now, it's just growing foliage. It is what he's trying to tell me. And though it's a beautiful fig tree, if you're growing for food, this is essentially worthless because I've got no food on it that's
right.
edible.
And you won't have any either.
No, my dad's been on me for a couple of weeks because he's my farm manager to get this done. And, well, as you guys can see, did not get it done.
We showed you the one has been pruned. It's loaded with figs already. This, in a couple of weeks, after we get it pruned back, these 2 should start producing.
And that's all we're going to leave. Are these main 2?
You can leave 3 if you can find the big ones.
Okay, I'm going to find a big one. Because I don't know about you guys, but 2 feels very naked. Like, naked and afraid, or just naked.
See, it's just a matter of the tree with all these suckers, the roots is struggling hard and it's producing foliage, so you got a good set of roots. Get it back where you only 2 or 3, and this thing, oh, it may be 4. Look, there's 1 for sure. It's nice.
Look, this one over here is pretty big too.
But it is.
So while my dad is doing this, it's pruning, but it's not really pruning back for winter. What we're doing is thinning.
That's
but
right.
While he's doing that, let me tell you some things I have learned about the fig. So most of you guys know that here at Storky Farmstead, we do a lot of natural feeding of our small livestock. Rabbits cannot eat anything off the fig tree because I literally was like, well, if I'm not going to grow figs on this, maybe I could use, the figs, the stem and the leaves and feed the rabbits. Well, what I found is that is a no-go. So do not feed fig to your rabbits. Something else is figs are a big part of the southern cuisine and culture.
Amen.
Yeah, right?
Amen.
We like everything fig. Like we like figgy jam, and we enjoy fig preserves.
Fig Newtons.
Fig Newtons. We like figs fresh. We like, there's like a pound cake you can make with figs. And isn't there wine, Daddy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
like
definitely will. They got plenty of sugar. They'll make good wine.
Yeah. And you can even make a fig cider, very similar to apple cider. So I've been kind of experimenting with making my own ciders for health for myself and the livestock and, you know, the domesticated animals on the farm. And my thoughts are always, when I talk about sustainability, is what if? What if I can't get apples, you know, to make apple cider? Well, you can actually make an amazing fig cider. And once this begins to produce figs for me this year and I harvest, my dad and I will get together and do an updated video on how to make fig cider. Ooh, look at that. I mean, he's really getting it on.
And the thing is, notice I'm trying to pull out the center and leave surrounding. Leave this center kind of open and it airflow, and it cuts down on the insects.
And I will say, Dad, you've always told me that airflow is so important
in
southeast Louisiana or any coastal state or anywhere in the world where you have a really high humidity level. And if you guys are noticing, the rat terrier Dotson is coming in for a close check. He's actually on guard duty because I was recently bitten by a 4-foot water snake from underneath my comfrey. So ever since then, he's been hypersensitive when we get underneath plants like this where there's a lot of heavy mulch. He comes in super close, and that's his way of making sure that if something goes after my dad, he's gonna take care of it. Oh, thanks. Now my dad's weeding it for me.
Now, pick your ones.
Okay, pick my ones, guys. All right, so the sun comes up here in the mornings first. So, Dad, I would think we would want them to get the most sun during the day. So let's keep.
That's 5 pretty liters, but I wouldn't want to leave 5 of them.
What's a 3?
That's 6 of them.
3-year plant. You don't think it can handle that? If you don't think it can handle that, let's take out the smallest. Let's do it that way. So this one's pretty big.
This would be the smallest.
That'd be the smallest. This one? Okay.
Yeah. Now, what I would do now is I would take a chance, because I really hate to cut them out. They're so pretty. Look at that thing.
You want to leave these 5 and go with it?
Yeah.
We can always remove another if they don't start to bear.
Yeah, if it don't start to bloom pretty quick, then I'd come out here maybe and take these 2 out, or maybe well.
It's hard.
Well.
Because they're beautiful.
I know.
And guys, we're totally organic. And when I say organic, I really do mean totally organic. I don't purchase any pesticides. So my dad and I do combinations of garlic and hot peppers that we boil and we spray, because my mom told me about the Queen of England's garden, and garlic was a huge pest deterrent or deterrent. My mom's probably gonna correct my English there. You know, and that's what she did. We also use rabbit urine. If you've never caught any of our videos on the uses of rabbit urine in your garden, y'all, I'm not lying to you. It is an amazing, it will deter pests. It will basically administer like a shot of nitrate, which is nitrogen, but in a form that can be taken up immediately by your plant. So I really encourage you, if you don't raise rabbits on your farmstead, your homestead, or in your yard, if you can find somebody local to you that raises meat rabbits or even show rabbits, catching rabbit urine is literally the most simple thing you will ever do in your entire life. But that's another video. So what do you think, Pops? Did we get it?
Oh yeah, it's looking good. You'll be surprised in the next 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Because they grow fast. In 3 or 4 days, that thing's gonna head straight up.
Right, and okay, so let me see if I've got this correct. When figs produce, they produce at the junctions, correct?
That's right.
And you can see, guys, you probably can't see from that distance with the camera, but I've got beautiful spots in the junctions. Like this plant really wants to produce figs.
It will too.
Yeah, so with my dad coming out and showing me how to properly care for this fig, I really feel like I'm gonna have a bumper crop of organic figs here very soon. And guys, there's nothing like nutrient dense organic foods that I grow myself that'll get me, nothing gets me more excited. Nothing.
Now, one more thing about propagating your figs. I have seen the old timers take something like this and pull off the bottom leaves and just leave maybe one at the top.
Okay.
One like this, just something to help, and just stick it in the ground. And now that's a hit or miss.
Okay.
But they just stick it in the ground. You'd be surprised how many of them take off.
All right. Well, you know
figs are very easy to grow.
this is shockingly healthy. We had a really bad freeze in February, and then we had a second freeze in March, and it basically killed these huge 3-year, stems that we had going on. And we had to cut it all the way back down because my dad's like, look, we're gonna cut it, leave the dead stems out about this far. Sam, if it makes it, it makes it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And oh boy, did it make it. But I think there were a few things that helped this fig tree withstand those back-to-back serious freezes, like 17 degrees cold for Southeast Louisiana. One is heavy mulch, guys. Second is we keep worm castings and rabbit manure applications every few months around the plant. The third thing I think probably helped is we do a compost. We have a deep watering system and a compost hole back here. So we water for deep roots. And when freezes and droughts come, it saves our basically our fruiting trees every single time. Ours will make it. They may look rough at the end of it, but the root itself is safe because we train our roots to go deep in the soil. Well, guys, we appreciate you being here with us so much, rowing in our boat, letting us row in yours. But more than anything, it is always an honor and a privilege to have my 81-year-old father and my farm manager here at Starkey Farmstead, because God gave us this vision to grow regenerative, sustainably, organically, back to garden, back to Eden, basically permaculture, regenerative agriculture at its best. And I knew nothing 2.5 years ago on gardening. Zero. I knew nothing. So this vision that you're looking at has mainly been brought to production when my dad jumped in my boat, started rowing with me. This is what we got. So it means a lot to me that you guys get to share in with this amazing wisdom, because I'm telling you guys now, you can't find this in a book. So thanks for watching Starkey Farmstead. See you guys next time.
There you go. Thank y'all.
You're so cute. You're like, thanks y'all. All right, let's get this off.